You asked for it. Back to the Future for NES. It is, in fact, the same week as Back to the Future 2 is set in, so seems appropriate. We'll be tackling this horrible game for NES. Oh, I gotta turn off my... It is, in fact, the same... There we go. Sorry about that. So we're tackling this game, and this game feels very much like an Atari 2600 game. I did some scouting for this game in advance. I hadn't played it in a long, long time. Well, you know, it feels like an Atari 2600 game because it's kind of simple and mechanics are very simple. There's not much going on in terms of variety. But there really is no excuse for how horrible this game is, considering some of the contemporaries to it. So this game is just indefensible garbage. I have some interesting theories about this game, though, that probably aren't true about the development. I tried looking up Beam Software, see if I could find who worked on this thing and if they gave any interviews or whatever, but I didn't come up with anything. I know that Bob Gale has said that this game is terrible and that no one should buy it. He asked to give feedback into the game, and LGN said, no, sorry, we don't want your feedback. Seems like a mistake, but there you have it. So before I start this game any further, I just want to warn you that the music in this game is practically unbearable to listen to. But I will tell you, and I didn't realize this until I did some research, that the song you'll hear through 90% of the game is a 8-bit version of The Power of Love by Huey Lewis and the News, which it's nearly unintelligible as that in this game. And the other song in this game, the only other song in this game that I know of, is Johnny Be Good, which is amped up, the tempo amped up really fast as well. So I don't know if I'm going to make it that far, but there you have it. So let me go ahead and get started here and unleash this horrible music on the world. LJN, famous developers for terrible movie adaptation, shovelware. Let's just drink in that music there for a minute. This is supposed to be The Power of Love by Huey Lewis and the News. If you can hear that, that's incredible. But if you go to YouTube, do a search, someone slowed this down and it kind of sounds like it. They left in the sped up version for whatever reason. Alright, so let's get started here. Hill Valley, so we've got to first make it to Lou's Diner, I guess. This game kind of plays like an overhead shooter, except you don't start out with any weapons. All you can do is run around and jump. You gotta pick up clocks. Oh, watch out for the bees. I'll tell you why you gotta pick up clocks here in a minute. You watch out for the hula girls, hula hoop girls, and the bullies. There's a bowling ball. Ah, darn it! Oh. Okay, so the reason you have to pick up clocks is if you look at the bottom of the screen there, that's supposed to represent the picture that Marty has in his wallet during the movie. It keeps fading away. And you pick up clocks so that it won't fade away. Just like you did in the movie, right? Pick up clocks. Okay, now I got a weapon. The weapon that he has is a bowling ball. I'm not sure why. No one's really sure why. I don't remember there being a bowling ball even in like a background prop in the movie. And when you die, you lose the bowling ball. Oh, I guess I'm fading out. So let's try it again. I did much better the first time I was scouting this. And of course, you gotta watch out for bees. Mortal enemy of the time traveler. I remember. I remember playing this game as a kid at like a friend's house or something. I remember it being just really, really hard. But I watched a Let's Play of this game. Someone got through it without dying, and it only took about 22 minutes to play through the whole game. And if we get that far, you'll see that every single level is identical, with just different color scheme. So, it's not only difficult, it's extremely boring, and you get that obnoxious music playing the entire time. Okay, I'm one block closer to lose. You still have a bowling ball? I do. Don't shoot the clocks. Trying to avoid the skateboard. Adventure Island style. Ah, darn it. The skateboard makes you go faster, but you know, you're already going at a pretty steady rate in this game, so all you really gain from that is just more risk of dying. Oh, these bees, out of control. No more bowling ball. Okay. So, my theory on this game is that LGN had been developing something for another license. And I have speculation on that license, but basically they'd, you know, bid on the Back to the Future license, somehow managed to get it, and quickly retooled the game to feature Back to the Future. A really lazy adaptation, right? It's just clocks, which, you know, a very literal thing. It's time travel clocks, get it? You know, a lot of stuff doesn't have anything to do with Back to the Future. Bees and hula hoop girls, and oil slicks. I mean, what's that all about? So, I don't know. I think they just, you know, rushed it out by slapping on a few, you know, sprites that vaguely made it seem like a time travel game, and said ship it. Which is not uncommon, in fact, in game development, to develop something for license, not get that license, and retool it into something else. So I don't know, I have no idea if that's right or not, but it's just speculation. I'm actually doing pretty well here. Still my bowling ball. Ah, oh, watch out for the bees. Oh! Bowling ball. Okay. I think that puts me at the diner, right? Lou's Cafe, sorry. Bullies to go. I haven't played this far yet, but I think it's supposed to be really difficult. You throw milkshakes at these bullies. So far not so difficult. I think it does pick up. You have to get 50 of them. Now, again, this is from the famous milkshake throwing scene in Back to the Future. Oh, crap. So the bully, I guess, beats me up now. I didn't get 50. Ouch, they sure threw you out in a hurry. Yeah. You just have to run up the street again. Yeah, so really punishing difficulty here. If you don't get 50 bullies, you gotta run it again. So, just a spoiler alert, there's several more levels. You know, you saw the whole map of Hill Valley. This is what the game is. You've seen the entire game now. Yeah, pretty much. You run up the street, go to the next level, and it's basically a level very much like the bully thing, where you gotta either throw or dodge or catch by just moving up and down. And that's it. The last level you drive the DeLorean, but it's not much different than this. So, you guys have seen the entire game. You've literally seen everything in the game. There's no ending, it's just another text screen like that. I think the B button does some sort of like super move where you knock out all the bullies on the screen at once. Ah, man. Now I gotta do it again. So, there's no, I mean, the Let's Play video did it in 20 minutes. There's no chance of me doing that. So, let me share you through my theory about what property this originally was. And just tell me if I'm crazy or not. And I got to thinking, a couple things in this game give me this idea. So, you have these guys every once in a while, they're sort of walking around, they're carrying a big pane of glass, which is sort of a classic slapstick comedy trope, right? You know, you think of Abbott and Costello, you think of Marx Brothers, you think of Three Stooges, you know, that sort of comedy, right? A big sheet of glass, or like a big, you know, 2x4. And, you know, slapstick comedy. So I was thinking maybe this was one of those licenses. And then I got to thinking at the bottom of the screen there, you have the picture that Marty has in his wallet of him and his siblings. But I'm thinking those could easily have been Three Stooges. So I'm thinking that this was originally developed as a Three Stooges game and quickly retooled into Back to the Future. Crying out loud. When they got the property. That's just a crazy theory of mine. Probably not true at all. I'm never going to get past this Lou's Cafe level. I'm only 15 minutes in. Oh, I guess I'm out of lives. Oh, God. I don't know if I'm going to make it an hour of this game, guys. This is really, really atrocious. And you guys are all watching the football game while I do this, aren't you? The OSU Rutgers game. It got pretty boring for me, so I figured I would come down here and do something even more boring. See, there's the guys with the glass. You know, and the clocks could have easily have been, you know, cream pies or something. There was a Three Stooges game for NES. It was a port of a PC game. You know, but maybe they were developing their own, or a sequel, or something like that. Just a thought. If I got it right, somebody from Beam Software, or LJN, replied to this video in a comment. Let me know. So there's a sequel to this game for NES called Back to the Future Parts 2 and 3, which I remember renting as a kid. Didn't really like it. Gameplay didn't make much sense to me. It's kind of complex and difficult. Not in a good way, just sort of long and tedious. But better than this game, for sure. There's a Back to the Future game that was made before this one. Darn it! For let's see, I think it was Commodore 64 and Sinclair, and you know, those kinds of home computer systems from the 80s. Never played it, but I didn't know it existed until I started doing research for this game. And there's a Genesis Back to the Future game. I never played that one. And there's a Japanese Super Famicom Back to the Future game, like Super Back to the Future, something like that, which I also never played. The best Back to the Future game, by far, is the Telltale Games Back to the Future adventure game, which is basically an unofficial sequel to the Back to the Future movies. Actually, it might even be canon, for all I know. Christopher Lloyd's in it. You know, as a voice actor, right? It's a Telltale game. So it's animated. What'd she throw at me? What is she even throwing? They didn't get Michael J. Fox, but they got another voice actor who does a dead ringer impression for him. I mean, I could have sworn it was Michael J. Fox when I played the game. I think the actress who played Jennifer in one of the movies is a voice actress in the game. It's a well-acted game. It's pretty fun as far as adventure games go. Relatively simple, like most Telltale games are. But that is the best game by far. Back to the Future. The picture's fading away. I'm not gonna make it. Need more clocks. Stat. Those bees, man. Those bees. Kill me. Oh, I got all three of my people back. Most of those bees, there'd probably be no challenge in this game at all. Think about it, this is really just Marty McFly versus the bees. And the bullies. The milkshake bullies. We get that skateboard, I'm going to lose my bowling ball. I just know it. Okay, it'd be nice if I could actually get past these bullies. I need 50 of them. 50. Let's let that sink in as I fail once again. My saving grace this level. No music. Such a placeholder sound effect too. It's like, man. You could imagine this on Atari 2600. This would be, you know, pretty standard game. It's almost like sort of a mini tapper. But not, you know, on NES in 1989. There's no reason for it. You can at least, darn it, at least make a nice generic platformer. Mario ripoff. I mean, that would be better than this. They certainly did. No lose diner. Scourge of time travelers everywhere. Bees and diners. So the bees sort of spin around twice and then go away? Is that what their pattern is? What are those green barrels? Those was trash cans? Or something? Son of a... Bowling ball. You get a little bonus there at the end if you're hopping when the screen freezes. So, a little pro tip there for you. Bullies to go. Yuck, yuck, yuck. Oh, I think I hit the wrong button. If I just use like a spread pattern. Try the brute force technique here. Darn it! It's halfway there. 23 minutes in to this atrocity. What is he giving me? Noogie? What's going on there? What are these guys' motivations for attacking me? They don't look like Biff. It's like Biff's extended family. Thanks for that bowling ball placement. Really good. There we go. That's better. Maybe a little... The problem with that is I don't want to shoot my clocks. bullies to go. Mayor Goldie Wilson. There's 43 more to go. 42, 41, 40, 39, 38, 37, 36, 35, 34, 33, 32. I'll stop counting. So I think she just delivered me a power up there. Oh. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. 38. This game really is terrible. Ouch, they sure threw you out in a hurry. Should go back to the beginning of the season. Put some money on the Cubbies. What does that mean? An extra life or something? The sound effect. Do-do-do-do-do-do. I mean, that's just such a generic sound effect. I just feel like this game is an off-the-shelf, like, I don't know, generic game that they're like, oh, we can slap a license on this. I'm doing a terrible job here. My rolling balls. You know, with a little more creativity, you could have made this an overhead shooter. You know, if you got a license to like Battlestar Galactica or something, I don't know. And this could have been like the Cylon fight. Oh, you gotta stop all the Cylons from getting to the command center. You know, it's just so generic. Ah, darn it, waste my milkshake. These milkshakes do bring all the boys to the yard. So they get milkshakes thrown at them. I mean, clearly they rushed this out and didn't even play test it. Because it's just not fun. It's punishingly difficult. Darn it! I mean, one mistake, and I mean, jeez, if it was 10 bullies, 20 bullies, but 50, it's out of control. I gotta restart. I mean, why make me do this again? Why not I just start again at the bully place? I mean, what? I don't know. Oh, he threw his rings at me? What are those? I mean, it kind of looks like, if you look at that picture down there, it kind of looks like it's supposed to be Marty in the middle, which, okay, fine. The guy on the right looks like Guy Fieri. And, I don't know, the guy on the left kind of looks like, I don't know, young Mick Jagger or something. I certainly don't want to save Guy Fieri. If anything, I would be the first thing I'd do if I got a time machine. Go back and prevent Guy Fieri. Well, after Baby Hitler, of course. Alright, here we go. Ah, dang it! Keep hitting the wrong button. There's some sort of pattern to these guys, that might be helpful, but it's too boring to memorize. Minutes into this broadcast. Tough luck, Marty. It looks like you are stuck here. Now, who are you? Who are you talking to me saying tough luck? Start all over again, these boring walking levels. We get it, bees. We get it. Why does oil slicks different colors? Odd. Don't you guys have some honey to make or something? I want you to buzz off. I want you to make like a bee and get out of here. Oh, darn it. Come back to me, young Mick Jagger. Or one of the band members of The Beats from Doug, if you guys remember that show. They all kind of look like band members of The Beats. Doug Funny's favorite band. Oh, this is just so tedious. I mean, not every game has to be a masterpiece, right? But, I mean, just something. Just put something in a game that shows you have the least bit of care for the person who's purchasing your product. You know, I watched the whole playthrough of this game, and the one part that comes close to being somewhat entertaining and creative, and I say that very generously, is the Johnny B. Good guitar solo portion of this game. Ah! Bees! We're not going to get there. It's near the end of the game. It's at the dance, which you see on the map. It's a good 5 or 6 milkshake fights from now. But it's a game where you're on stage and you're playing the guitar, and it's sort of a rhythm game. You know, George and Lorraine are there and watching the performance. So it's kind of a nice touch. But you're up there on stage. You're Calvin Klein. You're playing the guitar, and musical notes fly in from stage left to stage right at varying heights. And basically the game is to keep those notes from hitting you, and you block them or intercept them or whatever with the guitar. So what ends up looking like is Marty's up there on the stage. He's, playing the guitar behind his head, down low, up high, Chuck Berry style, The Who style, the whole thing, right? And I'm sure the actual gameplay is punishing, but the idea is at least, a creative interpretation of that scene in game form. And this, this predates Dance Dance Revolution and the Guitar Hero and the whole thing. I'd say it's a very primitive form of that. That's the only thing in this entire mess that even approximates anything close to fun or original. But I'm sure the gameplay is just as punishing as the Bullies to Go here, so I guess I have to experience that. Darn it. Wrong button again. I'm definitely going to lose this time. The bully clone army here. Oh no! Ah! Oh, 6 away, I had it! Good gravy, Marie. 39-minute mark. I remember which button to push. Using my super milkshake. Yeah, there's a bug on my screen. Alright, there we go. Bowling ball time. Look at that. Trying to make a trick move and I immediately fall on the ground and throw a fit. I mean, have you guys heard the expression Nintendo hard? That was sort of a thing. I can't jump over a park bench? I mean, it wasn't uncommon for games to be difficult. I mean, just flat out difficult. Back in the day. You know, if you look at, Battletoads I played last time. Just one of those Nintendo hard games. But this game is not Nintendo hard. This game is just hostile. It's just hostile towards the player. Anyway, I'm running out of things to say. Except I keep hitting the wrong button. Just tapping away. Oh, did I hit her with a milkshake? Now she won't bring me my super milkshake? Great. These guys are throwing pie at me or something. No! Ah. We're gonna get past this godforsaken cafe. Ouch, they sure threw you out in a hurry. Not helpful, narrator. Not helpful at all. Whoa. You know, I guess they're in the movie credit sequence, there were a lot of clocks. You know, it was Doc Brown's lab or whatever, and there was clocks everywhere. Is that what this? Someone watched the Back to the Future movie, but they didn't get past the credit sequence? And they're like, "We got it. All we need is a bunch of clocks everywhere." All right, I'm gonna push. No. Well, I'm just doomed to live out eternity in Lou's Cafe, throwing milkshakes at perfectly normal bully clones. There he goes. Maybe this was like a Happy Days game or something. I could easily see that. I'm not sure about the big pane of glass guys. Doesn't really fit into my theory very well. But at the bottom of the screen, maybe it's like, I don't know, Richie Cunningham and Potsy and Ralph Mouth. But I don't remember there being a lot of bees in Happy Days, though. And maybe, like, your main character here is the Fonz. Yeah, I can see that. It's plausible. The lucrative Happy Days money. Happy Days license. You know, they made a Gilligan's Island game for NES, so it's completely within the realm of possibility that the Happy Days property was coveted. Bullies to go. Alright, we hit the button right this time. Nope, nope, still didn't get it right. There's only 2 buttons. You'd think I would have this figured out by now. This game has scrambled my brains. Oh, hey, Nathan's here. No overlay. No, I didn't mess with the overlay yet. I will maybe try it next time. My brother, Nathan Groves, who is also a Twitch user. He plays a lot of Magic the Gathering. He's a world-class Magic the Gathering player. More famous than I. But he came up with some very nice little Twitch overlays for me to use when I'm Twitch casting. So perhaps I'll break those out next time. And dead. Any pro tips, Nathan, for beating Back to the Future for NES, or at least beating these stupid bullies with the milkshakes? Okay. It's the A button that uses throw milkshakes. I gotta remember that. A, milkshakes. It's the same button used to throw the bowling balls. Ugh. That bee just clipped me on my feet. These bees are the size of my head, by the way. There's some big bees. Those are Joe Bluth bees. It's like a Mary Tyler Moore type jump. You know, another little detail I noticed in this game, which they probably spent way too much time doing this, is if you look at Marty McFly's shadow while he's running and jumping. It's pretty good effect. But I think could have spent the time on the shadow making the game more fun. Just a thought. Look at that. Saved by the super milkshake. Oh. About 10 minutes left of this monstrosity. Oh. If you guys pick another game, please. Something that I can at least either have fun with or do a better job at. Tough luck, Marty. Looks like you're stuck here. It's really taking that music this time. Just savor it. I'll become one with this game if I just close my eyes and breathe in the music. Nope, it's not working. Just ponder the significance of the point system here. Throw a bowling ball at a woman hula hooping, make her disappear, and you get 100 points. Were hula hoops a big thing in the movie? I don't remember them being in there either. I mean, I could absolutely be mistaken. At this rate, I may have one more shot at lose confetti before the time limits up. The closest I've gotten is what, 42, 43? Three bees. Ah! Oh my goodness. So many bees. There's bees everywhere. Games should be called Bees to the Future. Back to the Hive. Marty versus the bees. Maybe there's like a... I don't know. Maybe there's like a deleted scene from the movie that I don't know about, where it's just like... Marty is stumbled into a... I don't know, a beekeeper's house or something. And he spends like 10 minutes fighting off bees. And it was cut for obvious reasons. But maybe they were going off of that early draft of the movie, of the script. And they're like, oh, we gotta have bees in there. People are gonna be talking about the bee scene in Back to the Future. That's what they're gonna show at the Emmys. Or the Oscars. When Steven Spielberg accepts Best Director. The bees. Yeah, maybe this was an early draft of Wicker Man or whatever. This is Nicolas Cage running up the street. And they're giving him the bees. Alright, 6 minutes left. Can I make it to lose? Can I kill the bullies with milkshakes? Maybe we can talk it out this time, in a civilized manner. Discuss each other's feelings. Not resort to milkshake violence. I doubt it. What was that? Okay. What's the time? About 4.5 minutes. Throw milkshakes. Bullies to go. The deepest of concentrations. Throw milkshakes. Ah. Well, looks like it's gonna happen. As I'm getting worse and worse. The music is really just sapping all of my brainwaves, destroying brain cells with each terrible rendition, eating away my sanity like so much acid. It's a Kafkaesque nightmare of bees and bowling balls. Milkshakes. I feel like I've got the dance with the bees down. It is kind of a dance. Where they like swing over to one side and they compensate based on your direction. Could just be imagining things. So it doesn't seem like there's a big penalty for actually getting hit by a bee or something, other than losing your bowling ball. As long as it's only once or twice. Alright. This will be my last attempt. Lose Cafe. Let's do this! How does Lou feel about all these milkshakes being wasted? Milkshakes aren't cheap, you know. Okay. So far so bad. Almost halfway. Got another super milkshake. No! I thought I had him. Well, there you have it, folks. Back to the Future for NES. I don't recommend you play it. I don't recommend you even think about playing it. I don't recommend bees or milkshakes. That's it for today. Signing off. Look for the next... Turn off this awful music. Look for the next survey on Twitter or wherever you may follow me at. Put up a new survey and send in suggestions. Tweet them to me. M Groves on Twitter. What game I should play next? Some retro game, SNES, NES, Genesis, Atari, and so on.